Good.
Yeah, I'm gonna post the screen to the instead of like,
You might have thought that that's exactly what I wanted to do. Did I get your attention?
Yes, you do.
All right, let's make your way on in and get this party started. I'd like to invite the family members to come up front and join us at the front rows.
oh no.
Recognize that we do have limited seating, but we would encourage that these seats do get filled. I might have to look at you and call you by name, Weston. I don't know if you have to socially distance, though.
Where from?
All right, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming. We have a very special day planned out here, and for a very special person that has touched all of us over the many years. And so let's just get this started. I want to do a quick check with YouTube. Yay. I want to thank you for joining us online as well. We know that this is a troubling time to squeeze in like this for various concerns, but glad that you guys are all here, and those that have tuned in online, we're more than excited to share this with you online. So Joyce, welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. I know this is kind of almost, it's not anticlimactic at all, but you left us and you had to come back, and she's wearing a visitor badge. Isn't that cool? It took us that long. But I want to quickly welcome your loved ones. I did not get an opportunity to meet all of you, so I'm not even going to try butchering your names. But, you know, obviously, Dale, your husband's here, Joyce. So happy to have the extended family, children, grandchildren, Brother Lyle, right? Did I get that right? Okay. I got it right. See, I knew it. It's masks. But anyways, quite a good showing here, and we're very open and welcoming to have you here, and excited to share our love with you guys too. Also, I wanted to make a quick shout out to our team here in the district who helped put this together. I could not have done it without them. Chris Alfred, the NRM section team, as well as Laura Brown and her team, could not have done it. We've had a lot of input from the field as well, and so thank you very much. And so we wanted to go big as we could. So this is for you, Joyce. And I could have sworn we had a special visitor here from another division.
Around the corner in the back.
Why is she in the back? Where is sister? She is here. Do you see her? No. Did you know she was here?
No.
We have the Chief of Operations and Regulatory from which division again? our sister Joyce McDonald showed up here. And so we were very excited to have her. And for all the other visitors that I wasn't tracking, welcome as well. I'm glad you're here. So quick introduction before we do the formal, I did the introduction, I guess. But I want to share a little bit about my experience with Joyce for everybody, and we will definitely turn over the mic to anyone later. I got to know her when she was I don't even know if she was Lucky Peak yet, or the OPM at Lucky Peak. You were still working for Dave. But I was just a lowly intern engineer doing some work for Lucky Peak. Got to know Joyce at that time, and rather got excited just about how snarky she was, and how awesome she was to work with. And we got to working on a big contract, the security contract out there, and really got to know each other through that process. But what was a common theme throughout the couple decades that I've known her was just how awesome of a people person she is. And this is going to be a common theme, obviously, today, and how much she loves interacting with people and taking care of people. And so she became a mentor of me really fast, and she taught me so much about treating people with respect, but that also means being respectful in giving them corrective feedback. I once told Joyce, she asked me, why are people intimidating me? It's like, it's because people, when it comes to you stab them in the front, not the back. This is not a roast. That's the only thing I know. But what I was trying to say was, she would always tell you what you needed to be told, and she'd do it in a loving way, and that's intimidating to folks. It can be. It's like, wow. I love that about her. But most of the time, 99.99% of the time, you were so positive about how you treated people, and you impacted so many people in such a positive way that you left a mark on this organization. One thing that I really valued as we became teammates here in the district, as I was the chief of maintenance engineering, and you were the chief of NRM, was just how, like, you would bring up randomly, maybe it wasn't randomly because you had organized everything in your diary. It's like, it's time for a team building exercise. So we would have staff breakfast, staff bowling, back in the day when we could actually get together. And it's like, for an engineer like me who, would rather just stare at his feet all day, it really pushed me outside my box to really understand that taking care of people was really important. And to this day, that's a model that I try to emulate. I'm sure I fall short. I got plenty of staff here who will give me that feedback. But I truly enjoyed that experience with you. And not only that, we became friends. And that is the most important part from my experience with you. And I'm going to get emotional, but that's really just to make you emotional, I promise. But I valued so much your friendship. Got to know you, Dale. I don't know anything about whatever those motorcycles are. But I hear you got a lot of them. I love you guys. It's a warm family. You guys have made a huge impact on this district. Huge. We have people traveling from all over to tell you that today. And I'm so excited to be a part of this. I don't think I've ever considered myself to be your boss. I've always considered you an equal. And that's just been a treasure for me. So thank you. Okay, enough of that. Let's transition to the good stuff. Colonel Childers here is here today to help us with the fun part of actually retiring you. How do you want to do this?
Well, first off, you say the pleasure of retiring you. I don't know if it's a pleasure. I'd say it's bittersweet. So I happen to be the commander that gets to welcome you over the rainbow to what life has in store for you and your family after almost 3 decades, 29 years of service here in this district. And you know what? It's hard to characterize it all, but I'll give you some perspective from my seat, and it's just what strikes me is the degree to which you invest in people. I think that's the biggest thing that I recognized about you, through our interactions and through the folks here in the NRM world, in the ops world, is you've got your fingerprint on a lot of stuff. I highlighted some things here as I was looking through the write-up, and it's LDP program at the district level, LDP at the regional level, putting communities of practice together amongst other districts to grow people. And like Chad was saying, you give folks the feedback they need at the right point in their career in a loving and considerate way. And more than anything, that your actions set the culture that's going to grow this place, right? You just grew up a whole crop of people, a lot of them sit in this room, and you know that they're going to impart that in the same way as you did to the next crop. And more than anything, that is what I want to offer you. This is what I can offer you in the brief time we've got to work together. And I'll just say that I feel so fortunate to have got to work with you, for a relatively brief time in that 3-decade career. But boy, am I glad, that I got to know you. And I thank you so much for what you did for this district. And I wish that all the commanders were here. We've got Ranger Farrell and Wendy, you're back here, and you're a past command team, right? I wish that all of the commanders could be here because I think they'd probably tell you the same thing. But thank you so much. And thank your family. I appreciate you because, I know it doesn't come easy. She's been working hard, putting a lot of time, hour, and effort into this organization. And, maybe sometimes you didn't get to do all the stuff you want to do with your family. And I'm really excited for you because I see that that's about to change. And, the cabin and everything else you got in front of you is really exciting. So, with that, I guess I'd ask for you, Dale, come on up here and let's go ahead and we will present you with some certificates to make it official and get some pictures. Okay. So, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and keep the mic. I'm just gonna go ahead and read this so everybody knows what's going on. So first off, I'd like to present the Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation. Joyce, on the occasion of your retirement, I wish to extend to you my personal thanks and the appreciation of the United States Army for many years of service which you have given our country. I share your pride in the contributions you've made to the Army, and I trust that you will maintain an active interest in the Army and its objectives during your retirement. You take with you my best wishes and those of your fellow employees for happiness and success in the years that lie ahead. 31 December 2021. So that, there's a certificate of appreciation. There is one other thing we're going to do before that. And so Dale, we also have for you a certificate of appreciation, and you'll notice its size is bigger, which I goes back to the family thing. This is a family sport we have here on the occasion of the retirement of your spouse from the United States Army. You've earned the grateful appreciation for your unselfish and faithful devoted service. Your unfailing support and understanding helped to make possible your spouse's lasting contribution to the Army. Signed, General Milley, the Chief of Staff of the United States Army. So I'm going to fold this over here, and then we're going to take a picture with this because it's pretty cool.
I'm smiling, Hannah.
Want to do the mask now? just a second. Before we do that, Joyce, you'll be happy to know that we're testing the logistics system of FedEx right now. And so literally the mail, somebody sees the truck pull up, please holler. I'm gonna read an award citation, which again, it characterizes your contributions over the last 3 decades, and it's never enough. I mean, this doesn't fully carry the weight, but I'm gonna read the citation just the same, and I will catch up with you later for the certificate. But Joyce, yeah, no, that's great. I like that. We'll do it. Joyce Dunning, I'd like to present to you the Civilian Service Commendation Medal for superior performance as the Deputy Chief of Natural Resource Section for the Walla Walla District, reflecting period from October 2020 to 2021. Your strategic vision, leadership, and initiative for the Walla Walla District's Natural Resources Management Program has become the model to resource other districts. Your superior interpersonal skills, mentoring, and technical excellence have inspired developing employees throughout the Corps of Engineers, and the investments that you have made for improving doctrine and training opportunities will have long-standing impacts. The cornerstone of Ms. Dunning's 29 years of federal service, with her emphasis in putting people first, with an unwavering pursuit of excellence, as well as your commitment to integrity, reflect great credit upon yourself, the Walla Walla District, the Northwestern Division, and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. So I just, let's give her a round of applause. And now, what we'll do is I'm going to present your certificate of retirement. And this is kind of the official thing. And then you're officially retired. And we'd like to take the chance to maybe have some others come up and share some thoughts with you. I'm going to take the mask off here real quick so you get a picture. Yeah. Step to the step that way towards Dale. Dale, come to the other side of me. All right. We got to get a Christmas card photo.
One more. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Joyce, Dale. You can have a seat. It's definitely true what Colonel Schiller said about the logistics and that it was with great thanks to Colonel Schillers and Jeff Jackson for making that happen, given the shortened timeline based on, bureaucracy and all that, but they made it happen down to the day. So unfortunately, FedEx just didn't quite make it. All right, well, we'd like to transition to a little less formality and a little more fun. And that is we have a few gifts to bestow, and I will start. So first, before you go, make sure you take a look at the photo book that we've provided, and everyone submitted farewell messages and whatnot. It's in this binder for you to look at later. But we did display this book on the display. Now, I think you're too busy hobnobbing with people because you're such a people person to actually notice the pictures of you up here, ones that look like 80s flip haircut and all that. But it was actually reflected in this really high quality photo book here. I lack the hands here, but you might want to take a look at that real quick. But anyways, pass around your family members too. But the first thing we want to do as a formal gift here is one from operations leadership. So give me a second. We've been keeping things behind the curtains. So come on up. So you have been such a big piece of this organization for so long. as a Walla Walla district employee in operations, and so it seemed suitable for your leadership team to give you a personal gift of their own. And I'd like to present to you this gift. It's kind of cute.
Very fancy.
So you might notice there's a castle, and there's a core emblem and a Walla Walla district emblem. So it's totally suitable for someone who spent so much time here in this district. And so something that I hope you feel proud of hanging on your wall, because we're proud that you work here. Stay here. All right, the next on my list, I believe, is Jason. Was it? I don't know. Whoever. Are you ready? All right. Hand it off. I'll bring it.
Hi, everybody. My name is Chris Alfred. I work for Natural Resources section here for Joyce for the past 7 years. Came in 2015 from Mill Creek. So I had the honor of having Joyce as a boss, and not just a boss, but a friend. I came to the district in 2005 and immediately became friends. And you are my boss, but you're one of my best friends. And we continue to be best friends for many years. I love it. But the district section here, we made this gift for Miss Joyce. And I'll read off the plaque for you. It says, Miss Joyce Dunning, in recognition for the 29 years of leadership, compassion, and grit you have given to our interim family. You're loyal, respectful, and caring, and have fought in our corner through the hardest of days. We appreciate your professionalism and heart as you worked for our team of teams. We'll strive to fill those fast and shiny shoes. As you leave the Corps after a job well done, we'll leave you with this, something to hang your hat on. We'll do some group photos at the end when we get the rest of the interim section. The folks who work in the interim section, can you raise your hand? I got a handful of folks all at the folks, so we love you. And next we're doing Mr. Jason Oxiger.
We all didn't just hear what Brett Forge said, but he said this is to hang on my rearview mirror in the car.
So I'm going to keep this quick, and I've kind of struggled with what to say because I've been avoiding this day for a long time. But really, what it comes down to for me is kind of a couple of pretty big thank yous, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, and I owe you everything. And I mean, just thank you for giving me opportunities. Thank you for taking me under your wing when I first came into compliance and you were the boss, and it was pretty clear like I needed a little bit of mentoring, let's say. And thanks for showing us what it looks like to lead a team of teams and to show us how to lead from where we're standing and how to run in the shiny shoes. And for just being there for everybody. And I'm going to stop there because Megan's going to talk about what we got you, because YouTube doesn't get to see me cry. So Megan.
All right, Joyce. So the first thing that we have two things. This is from our CWC kind of got together because we've had such a huge impact for Lower Granite and around. So Sonia found this and we all agreed that it was great. So I'll give you that. Yes, you can open that. I mean, we could count. No.
Opened that like Ford and Sissy opened their Christmas presents.
So it has a little base, but it is a hourglass, excuse me. And so we found that, and it has for 29 years of dedicated service.
So much.
Yeah. All right, so the last thing that we got together, this was a brainchild of the NRM staff, primarily the rec group, but wildlife definitely helped out as well, the whole team. So what this is all stuff from Lower Granite. It was all made in-house. So this is driftwood that we found. That coin was the very first coin you helped me give to one of my staff. She actually donated it. And then we all decided as a joint effort on what the plaque says. And so it says, Joyce and Dunning, proving rangers can do anything.
That's great.
And so again, you got the winter hat and I get the summer hat. Everything works. Our maintenance team helped us actually, I don't know, so that is, yeah, so we just wanted to give you something that you could, maybe use, but also look back and remember fondly more Brennan and Ron and all your help and time with us. We really appreciate it. It's going to be a huge, huge help for us.
That's super cool.
Thanks, Megan. Who else has something that they wanted to provide? There's a couple of gifts back there. Elizabeth.
Oh, Joyce. Do I need a microphone?
Yeah.
Thank you. Hi, so Joyce, my dear.
You gotta tell them who you are.
My name's Elizabeth Holder and I'm from Lower Granite. And I'm here, I just want to say that Joyce has been a big part of a lot of people's careers, helped a lot of us grow, mentored us. And I'm really gonna miss being able to call you whenever I need you. So I'll be calling you, home phone.
Call me.
Anyway, so to represent you and helping all of us grow here at the Corps and at Lower Granite, I hope you have fun planting these at your cabin. And as you watch them grow, think of all of us that are still growing at the district because of your help. Okay. Anyone? Do you want this, Joyce? Anyone else?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I think we have one or two still remaining back there. I'm not sure who they were. Oh, can't forget Paul.
It's pretty wrapped one.
Yeah.
Pretty wrapped one. That we know Kathy did. So this is I'm Paul Pence from Dvorak. We're not quite as fancy as these guys. These are beautiful plaques, but we have fancy wrap.
Yeah. Thank you, Kathy.
But we can't just come and say, "Oh, here's the gift." We got to tell some Joyce stories, right? Joyce stories. Okay. So I arrived at Dvorak, and what was that, 1998? And Joyce was the visitor center park ranger. She was the one that took care of, the Casey Forest come down here. I think she was one of the, there she is. She was one of the tour guide girls. I heard Mother Joyce. She had 15 tour guides that she took care of. And so I'm there, I'm the new guy. I'm wondering, okay, let's see what this whole program's all about. So I rode out with one park ranger and he showed me some things, what he did. Rode out with another one, he showed me what he did. And then the other one avoided me. And then it comes time for Joyce. And we're driving out to Dent Campground. She's driving this little pickup truck with a stick shift, drinking a cup of coffee at the same time. And I'm a flatlander from eastern Montana going, get me off this mountain. Actually, I had to ask her to slow down, which she did. And so I spent the day with her. I come all the way back and I realized, all right, we got our GS5 park ranger. It's supposed to be just caged away in the visitor center. She does everything. She did all the contracts for Dent Campground. She did the garbage contract. She did everything. She supported everybody on that team because she could. And at the same time, she was raising two beautiful girls and two young men, the high school kids and elementary kids and going to school getting straight A's. So I quickly became good friends with our forester up there at the time, Billy Drury, and he says, "Oh yeah, you met Superwoman." And that's the name. And the name stuck. Joyce, it's been a privilege working with you for all of these years. I always knew you were at the other end of the phone. All of my papers. Who the heck is going to correct my papers? A wicked red pen. Oh my God. But so good and so valuable, should, like you said, stab you up front. Anyway. No, it's just been an absolute pleasure working with you, and you're a great friend and now a tractor buddy. So we both bought tractors the same kind on the same day. Exact same tractor. So, with that, just a small gift from your friends at Fortune.
So much. This is beautiful. I think it is, Sissy.
Ski boots.
It's a ranger hat. Perfect.
Practically, you can wear it while you're working on the tractor.
Perfect. Torsak Dam, Reservoir, Osaka, Idaho. Oh my gosh.
And this is a flag that flew over Dvorak for quite a while. It's sprayed, and all the staff signed their names and put some comments on there. So,
Thank you.
flag down. Just an absolute unique person. And one last thought: when you look through the picture book. When you looked through the picture book, or anybody that saw the slideshow that was going through, I looked at that and I thought, look at all these comments. All these comments in here are all about, when I first got to work, you made me feel so welcome. When I was struggling, I knew who I could call. Wasn't it great when we got this thing done? No, it was all about people. And that is the true leadership. I walk away with the lesson that is what leadership is. And there was one time with I think it was the regional LDP program that you applied for. And I got what's called a 360 feedback or some information. I said, if you select this woman to be part of this program, be aware she comes with about 100 people that will do anything for her. This is a huge force multiplier, and she can get anything done because she has the resources all across the country to find the answer and get things done. So Joyce, fabulous example for all of us, and you've made a huge impact on us and on this district, on the organization, and so many people in their personal lives. So thank you.
Thanks so much, Paul. Is there anyone else that has something in the back? There's a couple things, maybe it's just left there anonymously. That's perfectly okay. All right, so I'm going to take this time to shift it to you, the audience. We have lots of stories to share, I think, and a lot of people are interested in sharing their experiences. So I guess I would like to open it up to anyone who might have a personal anecdote of some kind or just some kind words to say. And I'll run around with this microphone. Anyone? Oh, I see someone, and I'm not going to disappoint, Sister Joyce. Come on down.
I know
It's awesome to see you.
It's really good to be here. It's awesome. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Joyce M. McDonald. Not just M, but Marie. Joyce Marie. Joyce Marie. The only difference is our last names. I've only had two. I think you had, never mind. So as Chad told you, I'm Sister Joyce. But I'm Sister Joyce 2. She's Sister Joyce 1. And those of you who have been around for a while know what that refers to, because we used to dress up every Halloween, and I was thing 2 and she was thing 1, as well as a lot of other crazy, crazy things that we did. So how did I get to know Joyce? What was it? God, we were in LDP together. And you had the privilege to be an intern before you were in LDP, and met Joyce out at Lucky Peak. Well, I was a GS 7 Ranger, I believe at the time, at Ice Harbor, which is now Tri Rivers. And I was the first GS 7 ever admitted into the LDP program, which was daunting and intimidating, you know, when you had all these 11s and 12s, you know, in the program alongside you. So, like Joyce, I kind of like optimism is a force multiplier. So I always had lots and lots of people. I was like, can you help me do this? Can you help me do that? Well, she extended her services. She's like, I'll help you do anything you want to do on your trip to Lucky Peak. We'll make it the best trip to Lucky Peak that you've ever had. And I'm like, wow, who's this lady? She doesn't even know me, right? But we did. We had a grand time at Lucky Peak. And I don't know, it was like kismet from day one. It was like, we are the best buds, you know? You're my mentor, you're my coach, you're my drinking buddy sometimes, and you're my course corrector, and vice versa. So you get very few opportunities in a career where no matter how far you go, no matter what you do, no matter what you succeed, you don't do it on your own. So you don't. And I'm a true believer that I don't like to define success. I like to define satisfaction. Success is unachievable. Satisfaction in what you do, who you know, who you associate with, that you can control. And I have to say, one of the most satisfying things in my life is being her friend. And you are all so lucky to have her. And you're coming to Texas. You've got to come to Texas. So you do. But when I went to SWD, I felt really overwhelmed. When I got that opportunity to sit in the Deputy Chief of Ops role, I had 2 people that I could reach back to that were always there to have my back. And she was one of them. And it wasn't just on Monday through Friday. It was Sunday evening where I was like terrified about what I had to do the next day. And I'm like, I need some help. I need somebody to set my mind straight, set my mind calm. And then when it came for the interview, she's like, are you ready? I'm like, yeah, I am ready. I am very ready. And she's like, did you get it? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, how do you feel now? I'm like, scared as hell. What am I doing? But the reality is that none of us know what our true depth is, what our true potential is, unless we have strong people surrounding us who tell us on occasion, right when you need to hear it, you got this. You got this, girl. Or, you know, that's the way it is. And the community of practice for natural resources, everyone out here in a uniform, even the ones that I don't know, but all the ones I do know, we're friends for life. So we are. We can always talk to each other. We can always reach out to each other. Paul, I didn't bring you any sauerkraut. Sorry. But yeah, it is a relationship that you helped forge here in Walla Walla, Joyce. And you will be greatly, greatly missed. And they're going to be great, and they're going to travel forth, and they're going to continue to be great things because you touched their lives and you touched their careers. I love you.
All right, anyone else?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited to be here celebrating Joyce today. My name is Cassie. I work at Lower Granite Dam. I have a little parting gift for you, Joyce. So in LDP, they teach us to eat our veggies in the morning. And we got veggies this year that we sit at her desk or carry around with us. So Joyce, I would like to present you with an Idaho Spud. And you don't have to eat your veggies in the morning. Now you can eat them whenever you want. If you even want to. You don't even have to. And you can just keep that with you and remember LVP and all the fine people that you found and worked with and made connections with.
Yes. Cassie didn't mention that I've been teasing her. She's like, what's the first thing you're gonna do when you retire? And for those of you who know me well, and most of you do, a tattoo is not in my future. But I told Cassie, first thing I'm gonna do is get a giant neck tattoo. So, which is not true, but Cassie and I and Brian have had a lot of fun with that. And, they've even designed one for me. Should I, later after happy hour, fall on the wrong side of the street?
Is that to go with your tobacco pipe on the
Yes,
porch?
yes.
Amy?
I really need this? Yes. Okay. So, you heard everything about, Joyce being a people person, straight into tell you what you need to do. I was probably one of the tougher apples, you want to say. And, a couple of stories. One was Joyce, been working for her for a while, was working late. And Joyce, like I said, she's very positive, telling you, hey, you need to improve on this, whatever. I remember I just told her, like, Joyce, my mom was the worst drill sergeant in the world. She's like, no. I'm like, no, let me explain to you. When I was like third grade, I was doing a paper for English. My mom would stand over your back and be like, looking at your words. Be like, you got it wrong. And I had to tell her the story that my mom was sitting at the desk and I locked up and I could not spell the word dog. And my mom starts yelling in my ear, D-O-G, dog, dog, dog. So I'm like, well, you want to get a message to me? Just come straight to me. Go, D-O-G, dog, dang it. I need you to do this. Don't try to sugarcoat it like, hey, I was thinking of this, let's do this. Just D-O-G, dog. So from then on, Joyce would use that. Hey, Damien, I'm trying to get this to you. D-O-G, dog, listen to what I'm telling you. So those are some of the things. Like grit, you heard grit on the thing. Joyce would be like, I'm like, you just got to have some grit. Joyce would yell at the desk, Damien, get some grit, boy, get some grit. So that was our relationship. Everybody else, you probably have to be nice to me. Just got to be straight in the face. So, and there's a bunch of others that I'm sure Joyce could tell more about me on the crazy stuff I did that she had to put up with. And even my other past the other managers came out too. So we won't talk about that. But Joyce, just thank you for DOG Dog and everything else, all the crazy things that you put up with for me. And I do have to apologize. I was going to wear my shiny shoes, but I found out my wife threw them out, thinking it was an old shoebox. So I have to buy a new pair of wingtips. I really wanted to wear those today, but I was like, how could you? Well, it's an old Adidas box from like the 90s. I'm like, yeah, I'm the same shoe size. So, needless to say, I don't have my shiny shoes for you, but love you, Joyce. Enjoy retirement, and I'll enjoy the family and all the fun stuff.
Colonel, does that mean I got to get him to do push-ups?
No, we'll get that later.
Yeah, Damien's special. All right. Thank you, Damien. Anyone else? Jamie, come on over.
I have so many stories. I'm like, which one am I gonna pick? Maybe we'll save the best ones for later, but we can relive them. But we've heard a lot about how important relationships are and how important people are to Joyce, and that has same with me, right? There's 100 people before me, and there's 100 people that have come behind me, and I owe my career to Joyce. It's because of her that I chose to work for the Army Corps of Engineers instead of some other opportunities that I have. But we talk about force multiplier. She literally is a people multiplier. So a little story, when we were at Lucky Peak, there was 2 Rangers. There was Joyce and myself. and we needed a third ranger. And so we had to figure out how could we get a third ranger. So we took half of Joyce Dunning and half of Jamie Howard and made Dunward. And so Dunward showed up on the schedule for the rest of that season. And so we had 3 rangers. So again, 100 other stories that I could share with you, but I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate your honesty and your example. And you are truly already missed. But you, like I said, there's 100 people that have gone before me and 100,000 that will be behind me. And we owe all of it to you and to your example and your friendship. And thank you very much.
Jamie. Anyone else? Oh, Carrie, nice to see you.
This is a special day because I hardly come to the office, but since Joyce is here, I thought I better come in. So you probably don't remember this decades. First met Joyce when I was in electrical design section. We know how she loves and cares for people in her job. And I was actually out there trying to assess how to get electrical power out to some of the remote campsites out at the reservoir at Lucky Peak. And so she was kind of talking about the do's and the don'ts and things she was looking for, but you know, this goes back again, many decades in the dark age of technology, but her first request to me was, can you design a solar powered blender so I can make some margaritas when I'm out in the back 40? So I thought, okay, I'm gonna hang out with this gal for a long time. But really, what I want to share with you, people have talked about what a great individual you are, caring. And a story that came to mind was, I was standing in a Whitman basketball game several years ago, and Joyce came up behind me and we just started talking, and then she left, and my father goes, man, what a nice lady. And so, you know, to me, it just touched my heart. This isn't a characteristic, it's an attribute of you. So I think it's something we all, you know, we've been blessed to know her. And light of is not margaritas, but I did get you because I'm so impressed with somebody that could walk around with a cup of tea and not spill anything. Assortment of loose teas that you can kind of slowly transition into retirement with. So hope you enjoy this again. What a pleasure knowing you.
Thank you so much, Carrie. All right, who else? Great.
Hey Joyce, I'm sorry I'm not wearing my fancy pants today, but I'll tell you about that. So Joyce, when I started being a supervisor, she warned me I needed to dress the part, and I took that to heart, and I went out and bought some slacks, and at least I thought they were, and I came to work, and she says to me, she says, I don't know where you got those. I didn't think they made those anymore. As a matter of fact, the last people that wore those were, can I say their names? Herb Bessie and Wayne John. And I said, well, I thought they looked pretty good, but she said, well, everybody makes mistakes. And so I learned my lesson, and I'm back to where I'm comfortable. But no, Joyce has been an outstanding friend to me and mentor, a peer in operations. Anyway, I've been blessed to have all your sage wisdom and good conversations. So, thank you.
I think you look sharp in polyester. All right, anyone else?
Hey Joyce, I've been trying to figure out how to keep it short because there's so many people that I know want to say something, but I was trying to figure out, I'm Dwayne Weston, Chief of VNC, but I've known Joyce for 2 out of the 3 decades, and I first met her at Lucky Peak as well, but you know, I got to work with her, and Joyce, the only thing you ever did that made me uncomfortable is when you called me boss. I mean, just like Chad, you're a friend, and every time she calls me boss, it makes me shiver. So you don't ever call me boss again. Even after I left being her boss, she still calls me boss. Don't know what that means. But Joyce, people. I mean, for me, your investment in people has been awesome. I mean, these people here in this room, I'm pretty sure you had a hand in hiring, mentoring, and sir, I'm sorry, but she amassed a larger crowd than you can for the town hall. And they all actually want to be here. So Joyce, that is all you. These people are here because of you. And I will say, I don't know how else to say, you have invested so much in people's, just who they are, in their leadership. And I will say she is also responsible for probably hiring about half the people in this district, because Joyce, you are the person that we want on our selection panel, because like everybody said, she's a great judge of people and she will tell you exactly what you need to know. So for some of us that come from other parts of the organization, engineers and stuff like that, we need somebody to like look at somebody in a different way. So Joyce, I appreciate how many people you have just helped in bringing to the core family here in Walla Walla. And I am really going to miss you as a friend, but I know where to find you. And I'm hoping to come visit your cabin this summer. So Joyce, enjoy retirement, and we love you.
Thanks, Dwayne. Anybody else? Okay, well, I guess, everyone's kind of looking behind over their shoulders at some cake, but I guess I'll kind of close things up. I got a couple things to mention. FedEx came through. Yeah, will you check this out? We have your medal here. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. That was quick.
So wrap it up, and then we'll do Christmas card photo in front of the flags just because it's cool and it made it here. Yeah, we'll get that before you break. But
Yeah, you bet. Yeah.
Chad, I'm sorry, can I say something real quick?
Oh, of course you can. Come
I'm
on.
so sorry.
Andy.
No surprise, I'm jumping in the lap. Joyce, I just want to say that I pray God blesses you and your family and your future. That I pray you are given as much joy as you have given the others in this room and everyone you've ever touched. I haven't known you for decades, but I've known you for long enough. And I just know that you are someone who touches hearts, you touch souls, and you've been put on this earth to make a difference. And you've lived and fulfilled that. And I thank you so much, and I love you dearly. So God bless you, my friend. Enjoy your future. And we will all be better off for knowing you. Thank you, sorry.
Thank you, Candy. So I wanted to maybe close with some thoughts of my own too. We talked a little bit about some of the things that she's done, some of the legacies she'll leave. Last year, this is a little more recent. Last year, thank you. Of course, correct. I'm looking at you now.
Yeah, don't make us do DOG dog for you.
Yeah. Heel. About a year and a half ago now, an idea came up when we were looking at some of our funding perspective at the end of the year, and what can we do to execute some of the remaining dollars. And no surprise to any of you now, if you were wondering, she thought of others. She says, I think we can use this extra money laying around to implement what became affectionately known as the Roto Ranger program. And so we selected some 3 up-and-comers in our district and within our Ranger program, and put them through a very focused leadership development of its own. And it was a resounding success, and I think all 3 of them would say that. And I certainly know that their leadership, their supervisory chain thinks so. And so it's just one quick snapshot that comes to my mind of just how she pays it forward and is leaving a lasting impact. I was speaking with Dave Coleman a while back, and who was the McNary operating project manager, for those that don't know, for a long time, and he retired. And he made mention that, he was kind of joking, he says, here I retired and extent, I'm a good friend with my neighbor, and we've been doing Sunday barbecues for years, he said, and he invited his neighbor to his retirement ceremony. And afterwards, his neighbor said, I had no idea what you did. I'm hopeful that today, the family members that are here can get a flavor of what you did for us, so that they can carry that in their hearts, and so that this story can continue to be told. Thank you so much. So let's conclude with this ceremony and get some cake on. Oh yeah. Of course she's got something to say. I thought you were. Can we revoke her visitor badge? I'm kidding. Come on.
If anybody knows I'll have something to say, it'll be my brother Lyle. Okay, let me find it here real quick. I made a couple notes so I wouldn't.
Oh, I thought you were phoning someone.
Yeah, phone and a friend.
You think I'm gonna hold this for you?
Would you? I mean, you're pretty good at it. All right, let's see if I can. I don't know if I can do both at the same time. We'll try. Wow, thank you all. I'm overwhelmed. I'm thrilled. I am emotional. I'm mostly just so grateful for all of you amazing people who are dialed into WebEx, and for those of you who were able to make it today. I would be falling shortly, I'm sure. I would be really remiss, though, if I didn't mention some people today. So I'm going to make an attempt at that. And I know the cake is waiting, and I heard it's awesome already. So I want to go through this a little bit quickly. I was really, really fortunate early in my career, like straight out of the box in my career, to have some folks who empowered me and who were my mentors. Before mentor was really a fashionable thing to say, I had the good fortune of having a good friend who was a forester at Dworshak, Mr. Billy Drury. Paul talked about him briefly. And Billy just mentioned to me one day over a card game, like, you should apply for this position at Dworshak. I think you might make a really great interpretive ranger. So I quit a full-time position with an amazing boss in the insurance company to pursue a seasonal position at Dworshak with really no clear guidance of what was ahead. And 30 years later, I'm so thankful. And so, to Billy Drury, truly a mentor. And then my first boss was Dave Dankel. A lot of you remember Dave. He's Andrew Dankel, Ibanez' dad, was my first boss and really a great mentor. And then Phil Walker was in Paul's position at the time. And Phil just called me last week from Montana to congratulate me. And I really have appreciated him. And then Marty Mendiola was the OPM, who I came to know and really appreciate Marty. And those of you who know Marty have also been touched. He has touched your lives, I'm sure. Scott Ross took a chance on me when I was at Lucky Peak and selected me as the first woman OPM in our district. And I'm very proud of that, and I'm thankful to Scott for having that faith in me. And then I have a lot of friends who turned into my bosses, and my bosses who've turned into my friends. And so to Coach Rick Werner, and to Lucian Stewart, and to Dwayne Weston, and to Marcus Palmer, and to Greg Brooks, and to Chad Reiner, thank you. And then there's my brotherhood, my real brother, Lyle, but my field brotherhood and my go-tos. And Paul Pence is my brother who would listen to me about anything if I'm about ready to jump off the dam or the third floor. So thank you to Paul, to Greg Watson, to Jason Oxiger, Keith Hyde, Chris Alford, John Carlisle, Chris Golden, and my sisterhood, Casey Sue Forrest, Jamie Howard, Princess Patty Williams, Dr. Stacy Lee Trueheart, Captain Ann Craig, Teresa Hampson, Sister Joyce, Wendy Farrell, and Dr. Tony Fisher. I've had the privilege of building 2 what I consider A teams. And in your career, if you get 1 A team, wow, what a blessing. If you get 2, it's a double rainbow event. So to my A team at Lucky Peak, thank you for all the success that we built. And to my natural resources team here in the district and the community of practice out in the field, thank you all. So to Lucky Peak, that A team is Casey Sue, Keith Hyde, Jamie Howard, Alex Urquhart, Dakota Lynch, Jake Quartz, Marv Griffith, Hillary Morgan, Monty Crawford, Rex Harding, Sarah Reagan, Josh Preston, Mike Corelli, John Gentry, and Xander Newcomb. Many of those folks have gone on to have really great careers with the Corps. Here in NRM, Dr. Chris Perry, Donnie Redmond, David Needham, Matt Drumheller, Damian Walter, Miss Lee Kramer, Scott St. John, Chris Alfred, Nate Siebert, Brett Forge, and Jonas Grunman. I have thanks to so many people, but first to my family. I do this again, sis. To my late mother. My mom, Ellen, has been gone for 7 years. She died at the time I was taking this job. There's no better mentor, friend, champion on earth than my mom. Many of you have heard me say, because she had a zillion great sayings, like, well, my mom would say right now, and fill in the blank. My dad was going to come today. Funny story about my dad. Many of you have heard his great inventions and some quirky things that he did. He's fixing to be 90 here in a couple months. He was going to come. My brother and sister-in-law, Lyle and Chalet, were bringing him. And then when Lyle called to arrange the time to pick him up, he's like, you know what? I forgot I have a hearing aid appointment in Lewiston. I can't make it to the retirement. Okay, Daddy, we wouldn't want to change that. Let's see. And then my truest brotherhoods, like I said, my brother Lyle, my kid brother Dean, my sister-in-law Chalet. Truly one of the kindest people I know. And then my heart, my Jennifer, my oldest. She's here with her husband John, my daughter Monica, who Jennifer and Monica filled in at the last minute so many times. Paul talked about this. They were teenagers. They were terrible teenagers, and they had terrible toddler brothers, and it was the worst of both worlds, teenage girls and toddler boys. And many times Jennifer and Monica would fill in as setters when setters fell through, when GS5 park rangers had to work weekends and holidays, weekends, and late nights. We drug them to all kinds of their sporting events and their school events and to the swimming pool and everywhere. So those are my 4. So I wanted to say, Jennifer also was a summer ranger at Dwarstack. She worked for Paul Pence for a while. Kent and Garrett, my sons, were bundled up early in the morning and oftentimes picked up late at night from the daycare provider. Many times coming to work, having naps under my desk, and me making them volunteer, cleaning up trails and garbage and cutting back vines. Kent also worked for the Corps 7 years in contracting. He was a pathway student while he was getting his MBA, and then continued 7 years for the Corps. We have Dale and I have a blended family, 7 kids, 14 grandkids, 1 on the way. Congratulations, Sis John. Oh, it's not you guys. Okay. let's see. So 14 grants, but my two oldest are here, Brianne and Jordan. Brianne is the admin assistant at Lower Granite now. And then two of my youngest, Ford and Sissy, Kent's children. And then also here today is my high school sweetheart. And a lifetime later, you became my husband. Missed life in between. Dale Dvorak, thank you. You sometimes believed in me more than I believed in myself. So to all of you who are here or WebEx in, we have touched each other's lives and careers in some capacity. And I have to tell you all that the Army Corps of Engineers is the luckiest thing that I've ever accidentally backed into. So to Billy, to Dave, to Phil, to Marty, to Coach, to Lucian, Dwayne, Greg, Marcus, Chad, Pence, Brooks, Ox, Keith, Chris, John, Casey Sue, Dunward, Patty, Dr. Trueheart, Ann, Teresa, Sister Joyce, Wendy, Tony Girl, Alex, Dakota, Jake, Marv, Rex, Hillary, Monty, Sarah, Josh, Mike, John, Redmond, Needham, Drum, Scott, Dr. Chris, Nate, Brett, Jonas, Sander, and to my mom and dad, and to Lyle and Dean, and Jennifer and Monica, and Kent and Garrett, and Brianne and Jordy, and Ford and Sissy, and Dale. Thank you all for spending this time with me today, all of you. I am humbled by your presence here today. Your kind words, your thoughtfulness, your friendship, your love, and your encouragement has truly touched my heart. I am blessed beyond measure. Just a very deep thank you to all of you and SAMs. Thank you so much. Let's eat cake.
Let's do it. Thank you for coming, everybody.
I also was there when I was like attendance training.